Does this work now? Today? No. I'll figure it out. So I'm gonna kind of do this a little different. I kind of want to make this like almost like a podcast episode. Sorry, I've been in that air. I was gonna come back up for part 2 for the other day video, but I have so much on my mind that, or I have too many channels that I need to channel out. And I do need to make all the videos, to be honest. If you like it this way, without seeing me and just hearing my voice, let me know. And I will continue doing like this. So it's various topics of what I'm gonna say. And if you're joining on in, feel free to comment. If not, just listen. Because sometimes listening is better than just reacting. And I've been doing that lately, especially when my ancestors just, well, as of lately, it's like more and more of other ancestors been coming to me, like other people ancestors, which is possible. I'm pretty sure some of you are that multiple dimension where you can have other beings like being involved. And sometimes you have to be careful. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. And sorry for the background noise. So let's get into the message. So you want to know if you're ready, if you're truly ready. You call yourself the chosen one. How do you know if you're the chosen one? Did somebody point that out to you? Or did it come to you naturally? And it's okay if some people point it out to you. That's just confirmation that you are one, that you are chosen for this mission. This mission that you think that your ancestors have you on is not what you truly think. It's more to it. You're meant to be at a certain place, around certain beings, at a certain time, for a certain frequency to pop off. They're not really necessarily using you. You're allowing them to speak through you in a way. And when you allow them to speak through you, you kind of understand how their spiritual gifts, how their spiritual knowledge work in their realm, and how it can also work in this realm. You're here to wake up a group of collectives just like you. But then again, it's not about awakening. It's about just opening up that frequency. When you open up that frequency around people, they start to remember who they are from this matrix. And you're releasing old and new energy that's been trapped into the matrix for a very long time. You're talking about like, what is this? What is this energy? Why does it need to be reawakening? Why do we need to keep going through this over and over again? It's not about you going through it again. It's about them completing what they had started through you. or you completing what they started through you. Once they give you the knowledge and the wisdom, apply it to the mission. Say you want to go somewhere new, a new state, like I did. I went Georgia from Georgia to New York by myself with no knowledge of this place. And you wonder how I have such knowledge of where I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to do. I'm just beginning my own mission. It might be small for some, or it might be little for myself as well, or it might feel like I have not completed yet. My ancestors told me I'm not done yet. It's just the beginning. It's to see if you remember your past life. It's to see if you remember the people that comes across to you. You have like a familiar spirit. Like, I'm learning not to say deja vu, because once you start saying deja vu in real life, or if you say, am I in a lucid dreaming in a dream, the dream stops all of a sudden, or the vision stops, or it gets rewritten. You're allowing the matrix to rewritten what you already saw, what was already given to you in the mind, in the third eye. And the best way to access your ancestors through your chakras, like all of them, is going through all of the emotions. Or if you want to connect to them, that's only on the physical. It's going through all your chakras. It's allowing them to speak through you that way. And then once you do that, once you keep meditating, keep fasting, keep eating healthy, everything starts to align with your highest vibration. You're able to tap into the spirit world. So are you ready for this mission when they come to you? I don't know how you can see me, but okay. Thank you, I guess. And a lot of you are not ready. I wasn't ready, but I became ready once I jumped in. Something gave me the big push. Now I'm giving you the big push. Because you can do this. But if I was you and you're trying to do this without doing the research, just raw dogging with your own spiritual knowledge, like I have, you have to unlock everything within you in order to foresee this successfully. Some parts of me are still being awakened because I haven't come across certain things yet. So when all those gifts comes about and you're tapping into them, don't be alarmed, because it's just your frequency. It's just you talking back to you. And in this journey, you're going to learn to be one. You're going to learn to be you again. All of you. From any type of lifestyle or any type of life you had in your past life. Everything is going to merge, and it's going to feel like Twilight. Like, it's going to feel like you've done it before. But don't say deja vu when it comes to the time of your manifestation or seeing something before. Twice in a lifetime. Just say, oh, okay, thank you, universe. I received this message. And keep going. This feeling, when it feels like, and don't nobody really like talk about it, there's a good and dark side to using your spiritual gifts. You just gotta be careful who you tap in with. Not not everybody is meant to be saved. Some people are meant to be in the dimension that they are leveled on, is because they have not seen or dealt with the adolescence of that dimension yet for them to ascend. Because if you come to people already who have the gift of spirituality, that means yourself is already at a stage of enlightenment or already at a stage of ascending. Because you know that this world is not real. It's not what it seems. We all know that this world is a simulation. We can make things pop out of our mind just with the thought of thoughts. Thoughts is a frequency. And we here, as a group of collective, we are here to keep rising, not falling. The more times we fall, well, actually, I've done the opposite in my journey. When I first awakened, when I got to that stage of already knowing that I'm awake, my spirit kept saying, do the opposite, fall and see what happens. The more times I did that, the more spiritual knowledge I had. Keyword had. Still do. There's like stories of my past life that's trying to keep me from not remembering. And then at times, I'll wake up one morning remembering them out of thin air, like, when is this memory coming back to me, or why did it come back? Because it's part of the mission, it's not just you remembering you, you're also remembering everything that your ancestors have traveled, done. If you want to learn something new, all you gotta do is call forward an ancestor who done that. How do you visualize this? What it looks like? For most people, it's different. For me, sometimes when I visualize them, when I'm telling you a vision, television, I'm letting you have access to part of this portal, part of this dimension, so that you can have a clue of what it's supposed to look like or feel when you enter. Because for a while, I was able to feel them instead of seeing them. Sight didn't come till later after feeling. Because I had to be charged up. We have to be charged up in order to get insight. So, this is what it looks like for me. Most of the times when I go to sleep, I'm not really sleeping. I'm in the realm of sleep, but I don't feel myself tripping off. I still kind of feel myself present in this reality in some type of way, or connected. And then there's a moment of time between when the veil is thin in the morning, like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 12 a.m., stuff like that. That's when the veil gets a little bit thinner for me. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, like, either if I'm awake around that hour, I'll start get visions, or I start just to drift off a little bit, but it's not a type of drift where I'm sleeping when I'm consciously aware of my awakening state in my REM sleep. So, in the beginning, that's what happens. It's all black at first. Then you start to see color. The colors that you're seeing are the chakras that they are coming from, that they are operating from. So for me, I mostly see blue, green, pink, yellow, and purple. But the portal starts off blue, and then it becomes white. So see what you would call the kingdom of heaven, or another place that's different besides this place. It looks like Earth, but it's not Earth. It looks more HD, more holographic, almost like a movie. Like it's too perfect in that world. And these beings that I come across too sometimes, before I get to my ancestors, I haven't been asking them what they're called, but they did tell me their names multiple times. I just forget when I come back into this awakening world. They're tall. They have some sort of cloth over them. Sometimes they dress in white, sometimes they dress in black, and they're all standing in a row of line. And behind them is where I have to get to my answers. Sometimes I have to use my spiritual gifts to show them that I'm part of them just as much as they are part of me. And sometimes they'll let me through, sometimes they won't. Or sometimes my ancestors have to break their they have to break their matrix in order to get to me. Because of the things that's blocking me, sometimes blocking me from getting to them. So that's what it kind of looks like to me. It's like I'd be in another world. And some of you are experiencing that as well, where the dead would just come talk to you and you see what dimension they're in. It's not a bad thing that you have the gift to speak to the dead. I used to be scared of it. Some people call me crazy, some people might call you crazy, but you're not crazy. You know what you know. And you're gifted. You're wonderful. And this is where I'm coming to you as clarification that you are ready for this mission. You've been ready. You can't sit in a room, in a dark room, and keep imagining or keep using the gift. You gotta put that vision into action. What they're giving you. Analyze everything that they give you. It's okay to ask questions. I ask questions all the time. It's like one of those what is that? Magic balls. You get a yes or no answer. That's pretty much what you get from the ancestors when they're speaking. But most of the time they tell a story through vision. You just gotta pay attention and remember the vision. Remember the dream. Ask yourself, is this my dream or your dream? Is this my consciousness or your consciousness? Because you can merge into your ancestors' consciousness. It doesn't have to be through touch. I mean, sometimes that's one way to get contact is through touch, whether it's just a tap on the shoulder or sexually. You get interactive with different spirits. Not only that, your partner, you enter your partner in angelic field, and you start seeing things, you start seeing what's possible for the future. But we don't predict the future. I don't predict the future. What it is, I just listen to your desires, and I think that's your future. Or you tell me what you want. And sometimes y'all do tell me telepathically what y'all want or what y'all desire in your future. How is this happening? How are we able to see someone's desire, someone's future, or someone's past, present? It's through the ancestors. yours and the person that you are thinking of or encountering with so heavily, they're they're letting you have access to what they need and what they want. What they need and what they want and what they desire is three different total things, different things. You can see the needs and you can see the wants once you get the vision in it of that person. Say, okay, this is an example. I've done this plenty of times, and I need to stop doing it. But then again, I don't want to stop doing it. Because sometimes you get hurt in the end, or not really hurt, you upgrade. You activate something else within you once you do this. And I do this all the time. Most of y'all do this all the time, you just don't know how you're doing it or why you're doing it. You ever been around a group of individuals who are like low vibrational? They don't know that this is a simulation, all this and that, they're not woke. They start coming up to you, telling you stories about something that happened to them in their reality. And for me, it's always helping somebody get something. So I'm always helping them get a desire. Sometimes I can do the opposite where I show them what they need versus what they want. And it's hard to tell them what they need because of ego. They're not in spirit yet. They haven't been in spirit yet. So you kind of have to wait till they become spirit or awaken in spirit. So one day, I remember when I was younger, and this was my first time ever witnessing my own frequency. I kept asking myself, did I do this? Or did I just pray to God about it? Or did I pray to the universe about it? And it happened. As your gifts, you can get somebody jobs, you can get somebody more money financially by visualizing. I've done this plenty of times where I visualize certain people around me getting the amount of money. And then you can also take as well. But sometimes I don't, because the whole point of not taking for me is just to see if the power or see if the gift work. I'd be like, oh shit, this actually works. So let me tell the story. Alright. So I was about, the first one I can actually remember is when I was at work. I was working at Kroger at the time in Georgia. And I remember this homeless man came up to me telling me, I see something within you. He was holding the Bible and he was trying to give me one. And he was like, I can already see that you're awakened. You're gonna do things for the greater good. And at the time, he was telling me about his life story. Like, how he became awakened, how he believed in the embodiment of Christ, and this and that there. At that time, I was only learning about Christ because of my family was Christian. They're still Christian, and every time I go back and forth, I have to switch what I know, and then something within me that week made me had a spiritual awakening. I was about, when was I when I first started Kroger? I was about like 19. Yeah, somewhere around that age. It feels so long ago. I don't know. It feels so long ago. And I'm 30 now, and I've been experiencing my gifts since I was at a young age, since I was 5. Actually, my uncle and stuff, everybody on that side of the family told me that I had some type of gift. And then the more that kept knocking into my brain, that's when I began to realize I can see spirits, feel them, hear them, and it's weird. But anyway, so he was telling me about this mission that I'm supposed to go on. I'm supposed to be at a certain place and time. He didn't tell me where. He didn't tell me why. He said, just wake up. And I did. But I don't know why I woke up. I woke up on a pretty weird term. So ever since then, I've been using the gift. Well, I've been using it. Remind y'all, I've been at the age of 5. If you go back to my other videos where I explain where I saw like other beings, and then I started naming them, and then they told me their names. And ever since I was 5, from 19 years old, things been kind of strange for me. But anyway, back to the lessons. This is where the journey had begun, and I had kept contacting my ancestors, like, I think I am ready for this mission. But over the years, they kept saying I'm not ready. And then I kept asking them what makes me qualified for this mission in the first place. Why did you come to me in the first place if I wasn't ready? And I was about like 21 at the time. Yeah. When I was 5, my first spiritual encounter was the Black Cloth people. And no matter what state we moved in, I kept seeing them everywhere. But I remember them doing certain things to me as a child and as an adult. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all are at the stage too where you can just remember weird shit happening to you spiritually. Like, don't get me wrong, I was never possessed or anything. I was just able to see them do things in this realm. And they will always kind of look at me like, how are you able to see this? These beings are the same beings that control the matrix, that control everything within this matrix. They send the energy off to a different dimension, to where the dimension they come from. And I've seen what they do with the energy that they harvest out of us at a young age. They literally bury our essence in the moon or in the sun. Some beings are able to walk on the sun and to put something there or collect. To me, it's always, when they come to me, it's always seemed like they're collecting here and then they're putting it away somewhere else. And then some of these celebrities, some of these elite, some of these occult are able to access your energy field without you knowing. So ever since then, when I got the vision of moving to New York, my ancestors said that I will do like great things. I might be miserable for a little bit, but I will be doing great things in this mission. And for a while I was hesitating about this mission, but something kept pushing me, kept making me go. I kept seeing all the signs and stuff like that. I kept losing things little by little until 2023 I knew I was going to be homeless because it was projected onto me so many times from the moment I was like 14 through 18. And then at first I was trying to stop that timeline from happening. I kept trying to find ways of like how to stay in this realm, how to stay put, because I was so used to the toxic family members that I was around. I was so used to being showered in that love, and they was trying to tell me, go find real love, go find your real family, go find your spiritual family. And when I got here, I kind of did. And meaning, when I mean kind of, that means I'm still trying to find more people, more the people that I saw in my vision is what I'm trying to interact with. And I'm gonna talk about that too, about what happens when someone from your manifestation start to react to your manifestation. There's an energy shift that happens when they do that. Like, it's crazy. They put out a frequency. They'll tell you, I remember you, and then a bunch of weird shit starts glitching in the matrix for you. Like, doors started opening, like doors that you couldn't open before. Like, say you wanted to do something 20 years ago, now it's happening within a week from 20 years ago that you want to accomplish that mission. But that's for another story of that day. Like, I had a couple of people like that come up to me saying, I remember you. I was like, how do you remember me? I've never been here. They'd be like, yes, you have. I'm like, okay. And then I start to remember being here little by little, going to certain places, because it holds my essence, my vibration, and I tap into it and unlock it. How did I do it? I just ask myself questions and begin to feel and begin to imagine. So, this is your confirmation that you are ready for your journey. You got the tools. They gave you the tools. They was helping you in the astral world to align with yourself and your highest good, highest vibration. Even when you're in your low vibration, you're still able to do things in low vibration. And just when you do things in low vibration, make sure the energy is high vibration in the end. Like, it'll come in negative, it'll come out positive. Especially when you're making children. Think of them positively, not negative. And some of us are not meant to have children on this mission. I'm noticing that now. Because if that was part of the divine order for me to conceive, I would have been conceived. So, it's weird. Like, I had no knowledge coming here. And all of a sudden, I had all this knowledge. And I'm like, where is this knowledge coming from? Learning how the matrix works. Like, doing things that you couldn't do 20 years ago. No. I'm doing things 20 years ago that I'm doing within a week. Less than a week. Well, it is a week. But you get the idea. A week, a month. Because time is like moving so fast. We don't have time to process how we're doing it until the moment. But yeah, this is confirmation that you are ready. But if you want to be like everybody else, use technology instead of your spiritual self, feel free to Google the place. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the whole point of this journey is to discover you, discover what you can do and accomplish. You have to get away from the old environment that was making you miserable. Because that's where the demon realm is, in that old environment. But if you want to use them, go ahead. It's not going to be pretty, but just know that you're more powerful without them. And our gifts are not demonic, by the way. How can something be given be demonic? It's not demonic. You're special. So don't let nobody call you demonic or crazy. You know what you know. But alright, that's it. I'll come up with part 3.